do better.
Be better. Welcome to the Spitfire Podcast, Take Flight. We're super pumped for today's episode. We've got something really special lined up for you.
That's right, chefs. Today we're diving deep into the world of robotics with an incredible team that's breaking barriers and setting records. We are talking about the Halo Queens, the first ever all-girls team from Garsfontein High School to compete in the first Lego League.
These girls are not just participants, they're champions. They ended up first overall at regionals and clinched second place at nationals. Now they've just come home from representing South Africa at the first Lego League Open European Championships in Norway, where they were awarded the Motivate Award, the first award taken home by a team from Garsfontein at the internationals.
We'll be chatting to one of their inspiring coaches and two of the girls about their experiences and the story behind their success.
So get ready to be inspired by the future engineers and innovators, the Halo Queens, and welcome. We've got Angelica Humphreys and Kyla Dory, both in grade 9 from Garsfontein, as well as their teacher, Estine Lafrance. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. So let's dive right into it, guys. So tell us about the Halo Queens. How did the team come together and what inspired you to join the first Lego League?
Basically, me, Angelica, Zante, and Suane all came into Garsfontein at the beginning of last year. And then all of us signed up for robotics and went to practice. And then we got our teacher were dividing us into groups. And eventually we all ended up in the same group. So yeah, that's where I think all of us met and the team originally started.
Oh my gosh, destiny.
Yeah.
And I mean, guys, I was saying to them earlier before we started recording, it's so cool that you guys are the first ever girls team to compete in the robotics competition, of course, from Garsfontein. How does this milestone impact your team? Obviously, you met in grade 8, with you guys being in grade 9, and now being able to compete in this robotics competition. What does that mean for your team?
It was really nice to think that we're sort of going to be setting a example, for future girls to show them that not only boys can do robotics.
Yeah, I love that. And that's, going into the competition or just being there in general for your team and you guys joining in grade 8, that is such a massive milestone. Yeah. And you're obviously going to be able to roll that through your schooling career as well.
Yeah, that's very inspiring.
How do you balance your time between school, robotics, and other activities?
I play hockey and I have piano lessons and a few other things. So I think that to just allocate your time, if you have to study, I had to make sure I knew what I had to do beforehand. And also, just making sure your activities don't fall in the same space. So I had to do a lot of planning to make sure my time was allocated right and to manage it correctly so I can still get to everything I had to do. So yeah, planning was a really good thing that I did that helped a lot. Also,
just to add on to what Kayla said from a teacher's point of view, there's an important sentence that goes with first Lego League, and it says teamwork makes the dream work. And I could really say with the girls, where if one of the girls had a difficult week in regards to extracurricular activities, the other girls will pick up the slack. And the team, usually with teamwork, there's only maybe one person that does all the work and the others, they just go along for the ride. But with the girls, I think that's what makes them so exceptional. Each member of the team did something. So there wasn't a specific builder and a specific coder in the team. Everybody built the robots. Everybody worked on the coding. Everybody worked together on the website. So, yeah, I think they complemented each other really well.
So what was the theme for this year FLL Challenge? And how did your team approach it?
Basically, the thing this year was what you call it, masterpiece project. We had to do something to help our hobby spread out easier to do in our community. So we all talked for a very long time and did a lot of brainstorming. And eventually we came down to the concept that we all do robotics and that we want to also share robotics in our community, because we held at various events where we realized that there is not a lot of robotics in South Africa. So for our project, we decided to build a website where people can access the resources, such robotics.
Okay, so while you were gearing up for the first Lego League, you were working on like a research project. Is that what you like? That was part of the theme.
Yes, yeah.
And what real world problem did you realize or like experience while you guys were doing your research for this project?
That a lot of people in South Africa like don't have the resources like equipment to do robotics. And also a lot of people just don't know what robotics is even.
And how did you identify that lack of robotics education in South Africa?
So we helped at this thing called Krachta. And we had a whole board and things, and we were like working a bit on the robot and talking to people and showing them what robotics is. And a lot of them didn't actually know what it was. Only think like 3 people actually knew what it was, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And we also, with one of our sponsors, CBI, we met through them a school that we started teaching them robotics to, because they didn't like have the resources and that.
And tell us, what motivated you to create a website to address this issue?
Yeah, how did you get to that thinking?
So, as I said, we all just brainstormed ideas and came to the idea of robotics, and then we saw this issue. I think there is a lot of other things you can do, but we wanted to do something that's gonna be like we can carry it forward through the years. And I think in that moment, we just thought the website might be the easiest to do that. And also, there was nothing like that in South Africa, so it was also innovative.
Yeah, so true. And so tell us, why do you think that robotics education is so important, especially for young girls in South Africa?
I'd love to hear from Hestine, yeah. Just being a teacher as well, especially from an education point of view.
From an education point of view, robotics, it's amazing. That's why I get really excited when I just think about this girls' project and actually the impact that it can have on in the near future. So with robotics, it really promotes out of the box thinking. Sometimes in our daily lives, we really just focus on what we're busy with now, and we forget to see the broader picture. So robotics really opens up thinking outside of the box, that aha moment that you have. So yeah, it's amazing.
We call those aha moments eureka moments here at Spitfire. And yeah, that out of the box thinking, I feel like when I was at school, I turned 30 this year, so it was a while ago. But that wasn't a thing, like at all. And I think that the fact that you guys, obviously young learners, and then especially girls, as you mentioned earlier, Motso, like it's really, really cool to see. And I understand the excitement behind it for sure.
Another thing that I feel that, especially in education, I see it in my classroom as well. Problem-solving skills. As a teacher in a subject, you can only teach as much, but you can equip the learners to have skills to find a problem or to get a problem and then to think, how can you solve it? Because your teacher won't always be there to help you to solve a problem. I mean, we're sending the kids out in the real world, and you spoke about the real world problems. So it really equips them to really think about the problem and really think how it will impact your life, how you can use it not only in your own life, but as well as to have the positive impact on others.
Yeah. I love that inspiration. I think that you guys then nailed that when it came to creating that website, because like, it's not just this competition, right? That's going to have that lasting impact.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just stop there.
It carries on.
Yeah, that's what's so amazing about the Girls Project. It's not just a project and now they're done with it. It's like any other school project. You do it, you get the marks, and you move on to the next grade, or you're done with school and you move on. Their project really has the potential to really have an impact on many schools in our country. So yeah, it's just amazing.
I've seen a little bit of it, and it is very cool. I'm a big fan. I know I've been saying this, but I want to bring it back, and I want to speak about your experience at the actual first Lego League Open. It was the European Championships. They went all the way to Norway. I saw them with their South African flags. They were out there doing the most, and I want to hear from you girls. Like, tell us about the experience. I want to hear everything.
I must say it was really fun and just completely different from South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the small things, you would be like, oh wow, that's so weird, and then they're like, but it's just like that.
Yeah.
Was it one of your traveling experiences?
Yeah, I think so. Well, for me, it was my second time overseas, but for the other three, it was the first time overseas. Yeah, it was really cool to travel so far from your home country.
Yeah.
But the flying part wasn't very cool, though. But other than that, yes, it's cool.
Like flying to another country and representing your country. Yeah. And an all-girls team, and you're only in grade 9. Sure. That's crazy.
Wow. So you guys really represented us very well. So, okay, so let's bring it back. So can you share some details basically about the robots that you guys have built? We know we have Sarah and
Evie.
Tell us about the missions that they need to accomplish.
Okay, so basically, yeah, I've been doing FIL for a while now, and something that I realized through the years is that it's not about making this cool looking robot. It has to be more functional. So when we started building this robot, we had a few main goals in mind with it, and it was to keep it small and stable, and to make it useful and practical, and not like good looking, but it can't really do anything.
Yeah.
So we started with a low base, and then added 2 motors attaching to large wheels, because they don't slip as much. And then we just added on from there. We pick the side of at the start we picked the side of the board, and then started building attachments and coding the robot for that side, and then moved on to next missions. And as we went on, the robot just evolved. So yeah.
And that was for Evie and Sarah?
Yes. A funny story. Actually, we started with Sarah, and there was another team with the same robots sets with all the same Legos and the hub and everything. And then they kind of just quitted robotics for a while and started using, I think they used a different robot set too after a while. And then we just took that one. And before nationals, we decided that we need another robot so we can work simultaneously on both sides of the board. Then we just built the duplicates, and she was named Evie.
Summer just build a duplicate robot. That's unreal. And tell us more about those missions that they needed to accomplish. You mentioned earlier.
So with my run, so we had 6 or 5 different runs where she would do a couple of missions. In my run was the longest. So there's this thing called the craft creator where you had to like push a lever thing in, and then on the other side you had to pick up like a roof thing, if you understand what I mean, sort of.
Yeah.
And then there was this one called Light Speakers Theater Scene Change, where you would push a thing in, and it would like turn the singer, because it was like a stage thing. And you had to pick up a lever and like put it down on the other side, so the speakers could turn around. And also, we had 2 parallel arms on our robot that caught the lights on the top and brought them down.
Yeah. Wow.
And then they performed.
Yeah, Kayla did some of the other ones. Yeah, so I also had a pretty long run. So basically there's this mission called movie scene, and basically what the robot did is drive to the platform thingy, and then there's this lever you press down and it rotates, and there was different colors, so you get different amounts of points for each color, obviously. And then you got even more points if the team on the other side of the board, so 2 boards were put together, and if they also had the same color, then you get more points. So we basically drive to the thing, and we had this block of Lego that was curved, so we drive up to it, and then it would basically just glide and push it down. Then we used a technique called squaring against the wall. And then we would drive straight over to another mission where we had this attachment called the tail. And basically, the purpose of it is to push this platform down. But we didn't want to use the lever because that would be more effort. And we didn't have a lot. You only have 2.5 minutes to complete a certain amount of missions. So yeah, we basically just pushed it down with the tail, which is just a beam of Lego. And then we proceed to complete another mission. You just had to also flip this lever around, and the flower would like open, and then it would swing around and the flower would open up to reveal a person standing inside. And yeah, basically from there, it just goes back to base, and Angelica starts with her run.
Christine, I want to know, did you have a favorite run that you were watching? Were the nerves still happening? Because it sounds like the different team members were in charge of different runs in those missions.
They were, but I must say, me and my friend's favorites was actually Swane, and mine was actually my run, because it would work like 90% of the time, and there's only one thing that wouldn't work sometimes, but other than that, it would work perfectly every time.
And Hissine is the teacher watching. What was your favorite mission?
I think I was too nervous to have a favorite mission. No, the girls, I really love all the missions that they do. Some of them I like less because they don't always work the way you want them to work. But I was just busy. It doesn't matter which mission they were busy with. I was just busy cheering on Sarah. You know, let's go, Sarah, let's go. That was the vibe that was going through my head.
Yeah, I love. So what are some of the biggest challenges that your team faced during these competitions?
I must say one of the biggest problems was because all of us were spending so much time with each other. If it was regionals or nationals, we were like spending hours together. Even with internationals, we would sleep all in the same room, eat together. So we didn't really get a break from each other. And it was a bit difficult to not get annoyed at each other and just like get irritated with everyone. But I must say we did keep with it quite well. If someone had a problem, we would talk about it and make sure we don't do it again and we make it better.
Yeah, like don't bring it into your game. I mean,
Yeah.
also it's a very important competition, you know, and you also across the world, like that makes sense, and being able to keep calm and talk it out, so that it doesn't affect your game. Like it's really commendable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Kind of, do you agree? Was that also one of the biggest challenges?
Yeah, I think that was one of our biggest challenges in terms of each other. We also had some problems with the robots. But yeah, that was the least of our issues before we went. But yeah, I think with the robot, the only thing and the project is that we had like issues with the platform it was on, and we had to fix it a few months before we went. So there was a lot of pressure and practice to finish the website. But other than that, yeah, I think that was probably one of our biggest challenges before we went.
Couldn't have been that much of a challenge though, because they were winning things.
Yeah. Okay. So do you guys want to tell us more about the Motivator Award that you guys won?
Yeah. So what it consists of is that we would always like, in my words, I would say always like bring the vibe. We were always enthusiastic, loud, very loud. And we were also just like always like friendly to everyone and would say hi to everyone if we did see them like on the streets and that. And we were like making friends with everyone and talking to people.
Yes.
Yeah, I think our award is all about expressing the core values, and just in Afrikaans we talk about on die gees de bring.
Yeah.
And I don't think we did that right. Like, yeah, just doing war cries the whole time, just focusing on just being nice to everybody and like, yeah, bringing the vibe, I guess.
I completely agree with you, Kayla. I mean, one of the challenges for me with this trip was just to keep up with you guys' energy. that was the challenge. So they really brought the gees. They brought the energy. Usually with the competition, it's hard work and it's a lot of hours, and you really it takes up a lot of your energy because you have to really have a jaw and you have to talk to the other teams. So usually by day 2, day 3, the energy it takes a dip.
Yeah.
And with the girls, it did not dip. It did not go down.
I would say the only thing what went down is I would be sitting sometimes on the floor because of how sore my feet were from standing the entire day.
And you forgetting the karaoke vibes that you were.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
So the team next to our pit area, they were from Italy and they had a karaoke
machine
set up. Yeah, so we were like dancing and singing with the karaoke. So yeah, that's why our feet were so sore.
I feel like we got more excited as time went on because we kept on like every night. We were more excited and we kind of slept late night. So yeah.
And we were so psyched to never see Norway go dark. We never saw the sun go down.
Yeah.
We tried to stay up for the sunset. That's as far as it went.
Yeah, sure. That European sunset. Eh? So
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Africa, when it goes dark, it's like 6, 7 or 8.
Can you guys tell us about the most fun or the most memorable moments for the Halo Queen so far?
Yeah, of course, there was like the karaoke in Norway, sunset.
I think I know what's the most memorable for all three of us. So we were there on their national day, and we went for a walk, like in the night, to go see the sunset. It was me, Kayla, my teacher, and Zante. Shwani was a bit tired, so she stayed in the hotel. But like when we were walking, usually everybody's like so quiet and so preserved and don't talk to anyone. Now everybody was saying hello, screaming and dancing and having fun. And we're like, okay. But it was just seeing how the people were interacting with us. It was so funny. I just want to say that I feel like another really important memory for us would just be when we were at the prize giving ceremony and we were standing there and we were like, we're not going to win a prize. It was fun coming, it's good experience. And then they talked about the motivation award. And I remember all of us were looking at the screen and we were standing behind the Australian team and our picture came on the board. And that was the first thing I saw. And like I turned to Angelica and we were like, yeah. And then we ran up the stage. I think that definitely, yeah. Also, another thing, what was really fun for me was, so they had like a team party thing where all of the teams went to place and they played music and even had a live band and you could just dance. And they even gave us like glow in the dark sticks and face paint. And it was just so fun.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm glad you guys made so many memories. I mean, definitely making South Africa and Garsfontein
Very proud.
proud, bringing the fierce, bringing the energy, and then being able to, I mean, like see your robots that you were working so hard on performed and enjoy those missions with each other. Like even me, I want to go to Norway. When's the next FLL? Are you guys planning on going back next year? What are your plans?
So, as you might know, Angelica lives in Nesa now. So it's pretty hard to have a team so far away, like team members. And then Swane, one of our other team members, is also moving to another province. And I think a little bit less than 2 weeks. So it's going to be hard to keep the team, but me and Zante will be doing a last season of FRL, and Swane is going to go help. She's moving to Rustenburg, I think, and there she's going to go help start robotics. So yeah.
So you're just going to go and sprinkle your robotic skills and knowledge all over the country. And with that being said, what advice would you give to other young girls who are interested in robotics and technology, but are maybe a little bit hesitant to get involved?
I would say go for it. Try it and see if you like it, because you probably will. And it's such a fun experience. And it's a really good thing to know, because with a lot of things nowadays, coding is coming in.
Yeah.
And if you get invited to international, that's amazing, and it's such a great experience, and yeah.
Okay. So tell us then, what message would you like to share with your supporters and the broader community?
I think, yeah, go for it. Whatever your goals are, work hard for it. Put in the hours, because it's gonna be worth it at the end. And yeah,
we're letting proof of that. I just want to add on to that. A simple 3-letter word: try. Just try it. I see with the kids, they associate robotics with the coding in IT. Delphi, Java, C++, and they think, oh, difficult, I won't be able to do it. But if you don't try, you will never know. And to be honest, you're missing out.
I'm sure you are.
Even me, I want to. Well, that's awesome, guys. I mean, our last question is, how can listeners contribute to your journey and support the Halo Queens? But of course, we have discussed how the team is dispersing.
Yeah.
But is there anything with your website or with the schools that you were involved in where people can contribute to?
Yeah.
I think something we should mention there. I think if people have any old robotics sets laying around that they're not planning to use in the future, to go to our page maybe and donate it, so people that don't have the privilege to have access to robotic sets can also get access and start doing robotics.
So you must jump your old robot off here.
Yeah.
And also if you would like any help, these girls are also passionate about helping other schools to start robotics. So we usually do play dates with our robotics. So we organize play dates with other schools. They come to us or we'll go to them, and then we take a few kids and we chat with the coaches and we teach them a few skills. So if you're interested in collaborating with us, I can give you our email address. It's robotica@garsies.co.za. So they could just send us an email, and then we can organize a play date.
Organizing play dates. We will definitely put that email address in the details connected post. And I just want to say I'm probably going to organize. I'm so inspired. Please check out the girls' social platforms. It's at Halo Queens. And I'm really excited, even though as a team you guys won't necessarily be going on. I'm really excited to see the continued impact and especially the inspiration that you are bringing as all girls, girl power, all this years. I'm really excited to see what you guys do. You are the future of our country, and I'm feeling pretty confident. Amazing, guys, and thank you so much for joining us. It was really awesome to have you here.
Thank you for having us. It was really nice.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It was an honor to talk to you and to meet you.
Really fun.
Awesome. So, as we mentioned, check out our blog post connected to this episode at spitfireinbound.com. We'd love for you to like, follow, and subscribe to our podcast, and for you to leave us a review. If you liked this episode, remember to tag us on social media on the handle at @SpitfireInbound #Take Flight. We will also have the email address for you to get involved with the Halo Queens. So any of the information you will find in the bottom of this episode. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.